Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with top 5 best PC hardware deals of the week. Nothing too crazy this week, but still some pretty good pickups for those of you in the market for certain things, specifically video cards, CPUs, and all that good stuff. So let's get right into this with number 5. Number 5 decided to start things off with a power supply. The SeaSonic M12 620-watt bronze certified PSU was available for around $60 on Newegg. But then there's also a $10 off mail-in rebate, knocking it down to $50. Now, this is a fully modular power supply, and a fully modular power supply for $50 after the mail-in rebate is actually really good. This 620-watt power supply typically goes for around $60 to $70, so it's not a gigantic savings, but $50 for a fully modular power supply, that's pretty good, and I thought I should mention it. And it is a very high-quality power supply from the guys over at SeaSonic. They have a pretty good track record with their stuff. Next up, number 4 is the G.SKILL Ripjaws V Series 16GB, 4GB sticks running at DDR4 3200 MHz. Now, RAM's been kind of weird recently, at least this year. Before, I want to say a year ago, the trend with RAM was that the price was just going lower and lower and lower. Now, what I've noticed, especially with DDR4 RAM, is that it's really all over the place. Sometimes you'll see 16GB of RAM for cheaper than $100. However, I haven't seen that recently, especially if you're looking at 4GB sticks. I've been seeing it around the $120 to $130 range, and now it is available for $100 on Newegg. This is very high quality RAM. It's got a very nice black look if you're looking to do something with the color scheme of your build. And yeah, it's just very high quality 16GB of RAM. You can't really add much more to it other than it's coming at a pretty decent price as well. Moving on to number 3 and 2, these kind of go hand in hand. First, number 3 is the MSI Radeon RX 480. This is the 4GB model, and right now on Newegg it's available for $185. There's also a $10 off mail-in rebate, knocking it down to $175. Now that's a very good price for a 4GB RX 480, but I really wanted to mention this because a few days ago this same GPU was available for $155, and if you can get it for that price, that is absolutely insane for a 480. I mean, these GPUs, when it released back in, I believe, August, they were well above $200 even for the 4GB model, and now the fact that you can get them as low as $155, that's pretty insane. Currently on Newegg, like I said, it is $175, so a little bit more expensive, but still a very good deal for a GPU that's just a really great 1080p capable video card. This is the 4GB model, however, Newegg also has a pretty sweet deal on an 8GB model. The PowerColor Red Devil RX 480, this is an 8GB model of the 480. That's available for $220, and there's a $20 mail-in rebate attached to it, so if you use that, you end up getting it for $200, and $200 for a 480 8GB is a really solid deal. I've noticed that these are getting cheaper and cheaper, and while I always said that I just think the 4GB RX 480 is just a better option given the power you're getting out of a GPU like this, considering how close they are in price now, maybe going with the 8GB model is just the better route, especially if they go even cheaper than this. If at any point the 480 8GB model becomes like $185, well, that would just be absolutely insane. For $200, it's still a very, very great deal, and this one's got a really nice cooler on it, and with the 480, with the 8GB model specifically, you can do some 1440p gaming if that's what you want to do. I don't think the majority of people that are buying a $200 video card are looking to game at 1440p, but hey, if that is what you want to do, then more power to you, and the 480 can do some decent gameplay at that resolution. Just don't be expecting to max out every game and getting 60 frames per second. That's probably not going to happen, but at 1080p also, this GPU is just insane, given how low of a price it comes at. Finally, over on mono prices eBay, you can pick up the Intel Core i7 7700K for $310. This is a Kaby Lake quad-core 4.2 GHz CPU. It's on the LJ1151 socket, and a lot of people have been clamoring to get their hands on this CPU. Obviously, the performance gains over Skylake isn't anything astronomical, so if you're running like a pretty good Skylake CPU, I probably wouldn't be upgrading to Kaby Lake, but hey, I do know that some people want to, and if you're running an older generation Intel CPU, maybe you're just looking for a new i7, typically the 7700K goes for around $330 to $340. For $310, I believe this is the cheapest price that I've seen it at for a new CPU, of course, and it is a pretty good price. I mean, you're not going to get a high quality i7 for much cheaper, so yeah, if you're in the market for an i7, this is probably the route to go. We do know that AMD's got their CPUs coming out soon, so maybe the best idea would be to hold out and see how that affects the current climate of the market. And even with that, I do know that some of you guys always want an Intel CPU, but with Zen coming out, it may drive the price of this CPU lower, so you might want to wait and see. However, for $310, it's still a very good deal. So that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. As always, thanks for watching. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave it in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.